Quarter past seven, the 25th Annual Business Excellence Awards handed out on Friday night. MC Osher Gunsberg. We had our mate Cale Bone from the Delroy Terry White Chemmart pick up the Service with a Smile Award. Tommy Phillips from Robertson and Fuller, the Mailbox Shopper Award for Dubbo's favourite tradie. Like that one too. And the Gold Rhino, I don't know where he's going to put it on his car, but Terry Wilshire picked it up for 1, 2, 3 ticks. The Gold Rhino Regional Award. The Jean-Emile Cerisia winner was Mathew Dickerson. It knocked you out. You didn't think you were going to get it, Matt.
I haven't actually ever really thought about winning that. Maybe one day when I get old, Richard, but I didn't think I'd be lined up for it.
How dare you embrace those terms?
But more than that, obviously being mayor, I just didn't think it was something that they would hand out to the mayor, and they were quite good to point out, the Chamber of Commerce, during the award ceremony, that this was an award that was decided back around August, September last year, because the award ceremony was going to be in October last year. So they'd made all the decisions, it was all done and dusted, everything was finalised, and then of course COVID knocked that out, and then of course along came a council election, and then I became mayor, and the board, well, some board members I spoke to on Friday night said that they'd spoken about that and said, well, what do we do now? We've got the plate done, the engraving's all finished, we've made the decisions, but now he's gone and got himself to be mayor. What do we do? But the decision was there, and the board had enough confidence in their processes that they said, well, we should stick with that. So I commend them for that.
Yeah, well, excellent too. What's the plate look like?
It's just a nice big silver plate that it comes in a nice case, and it's got some nice engraving that says, well done, Mathew Dickerson.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, it's not a. Is it a dinner plate? Did it come with a knife and fork or a spoon or anything?
No, a little bit bigger than a dinner plate, just something that's a nice decorative plate. It's quite nice. I actually assumed when I've seen previous people win the award and you talk to them afterwards, you don't really pick up their plate and go and read it, but I assumed it was a perpetual plate that you handed back each year, but this is one that you actually get to keep, which is quite nice.
Be good as a door knocker on the front of your house, wouldn't it?
Oh, I'd probably go a little bit more than that. I'd probably hang it up in the office or something like that, something a bit nicer.
Look, to be serious, it's a tradition. It's a huge honour. I mean, Jean-Emile Cerisia, what a name attached to so much that went on in this town. Came here from, overseas, nurtured, picked up a few bits and pieces to make it his own, and certainly nursed this town into the future, didn't he? Incredible honour, Matt. Incredible honour.
Very much so. When I look back, I have actually attended, I think I might have missed one or two, but just about every Rhino Awards that's been on, I've attended. And I remember way back to that first one, I saw the last of the old awards back in 1995, and that was a good process, but the Rhinos really took it to another level. And back in those first years, in those 90s, I remember Joe Snare picked up the very first one, and then I don't remember the exact order, but I think it was Peter Milling, Frank Brennan and Roger Fletcher were the first four that I remember. And I can remember sitting in the audience looking at that and actually talking to some of those people afterwards and thinking, wow, that's an incredible process they've been in. These are people that have really made a huge difference in Dubbo society. And I didn't ever think back in those days or even recently that I was at that same level. So it is an incredible honour. And I was only having a coffee with Peter Milling just about a week ago, and just not talking about this particular award, but just listening to Peter talk and just his knowledge of Dubbo, his knowledge of Dubbo business. There's someone there that really knows and understands that. And all the award winners over the years, I won't go and rattle off all 24 previous ones, but they're all real contributors to our business community. So it is an incredible honour.
You mentioned Peter Milling. What a gentleman. What a gentleman.
Absolutely right. Yep, absolutely right.
Amazing, lovely man. So there you are. You're in an elite club, Matt.
It does feel like that. And again, you've got to be careful. I'm not sure that I'm at the same level. I think I've got a bit more to contribute to Dubbo and Dubbo business for a few more years to come yet. But some of those people are still making huge contributions to Dubbo business. So it doesn't mean you've got to stop once you get that award. But I feel very honoured to be in that company and very appreciative of the Dubbo Chamber of Commerce, A, for choosing me in that process, and B, for sticking to their decision. And if they had have rung me and said, we've made this decision, but now you're mayor, we're going to put it off until you're not mayor one day and then we'll give it to you, I would have said, look, I can understand that, because you don't want to think that the Chamber of Commerce is giving it to you just because you're the mayor. But again, they do have this incredible rigorous process they go through for all the awards. So I think they believe in their process and they believe that the public believes in their process. So again, I commend them on the thoroughness of their process.
Mathew Dickerson, it must sink into you, and it must sort of be like a self-audit.
What's that, the award process itself or the
getting the award? I mean, you sort of think, wow, now I've got something else to live up to. Huh?
I don't know that anyone actually goes out trying to win awards or trying to...
But now that you've got it, you're going to have to smarten up now, mate.
That's right. I better live up to the standard that all these other people have set. I think it's one of those things that, in my approach anyway, is you just go and do things flat out, do things as well as you possibly can, do things to the best of your ability. And if things like this happen along the way, you might sit back and think about it later on when you're talking to your grandkids. But at the moment, I'm too busy just doing stuff to sit back and think about it for too long. It's nice, don't get me wrong. It's an absolute honour. But you don't want to dwell on these things for too long because life passes you by if you start dwelling for too long. There's too much to do, too many things to be involved in to dwell for too long.
Do you know who dobbed you in?
I think it's just a decision that the Chamber, I don't think there's actually a nomination process. The way I understand it, and I haven't ever sat in on the decision-making process, I think the Chamber discusses it amongst themselves. It's the only award that is given out on the night that you don't nominate for. No one nominates for this award. So it's one of those things I think they just discuss it and think, who do we believe is worthy of having made that contribution? Who's the one that we think is worthy of the award this year? And again... And I just rattled off the first few names back in the early days, but over the years, and I won't start mentioning any because I'll be in trouble from lots of different people if I do, but every time that someone's won one, I go, oh yeah, wow, that's a really honourable, or that person really deserves that honour. But there's lots of those people in the community. There's lots of other people. I don't think the Chamber of Commerce is going to run out of people to discuss when they get to that point of saying who should be awarded to this year. There are many, many people making a great contribution to our business.
Mayor, business owner, mayor again, father. Which bit is Mathew Dickerson's favourite?
Parent has to be number one there. Husband and parent obviously is number one, that personal life there. But certainly it's an interesting question in terms of between mayor and business. You both feel like you're making a contribution in a different way. And so that's probably the main thing that drives me, is feeling like you're making a difference in the community. And you can do that as mayor, there's no doubt about that. But I also believe I've done that as a business owner and just employing people. And some of the people that I now see that we employed 20 years ago that are running their own businesses and have gone on to bigger and better things, you feel like you've made a contribution to their lives and then they're making a contribution back into the community. So that's a nice feeling as well.
We'll see next year when the next recipient of the Jean-Emile Cerisi plate is delivered, that particular individual will say, wow, now I've joined these other 25 and you're one of those 25.
Thank you. And it actually won't be next year, it'll be this year because the 2022 awards will be run this year. So they'll have 2 Rhino awards in the 1 year. And again, the crazy world we live in.
Congratulations, Mathew Dickerson.
I appreciate it, Richard. Thank you.